there's questions about like moves with ISBE. So keep in mind, we're still under ISBE review. There were anonymous complaints made to ISBE regarding like staffing needs, minutes. And so there was another one put forth this year. So again, another anonymous complaint in terms of like the staffing needs. So whenever we're under ISBE review, so you have to produce what you're going to do. And so when you have teachers that are certified with an LBS1, you have to make adjustments here and there based on like, okay, how many sections can I go here without, is this a area where I can afford not to have a teacher in front of it? Is this like PE and there's kids moving everywhere? Versus another section where they're at least somewhat stationary because they're in the classroom. So some of those safety factors come into play in there. And then thinking about like moving someone back into SPED that had an LBS1. So moving someone that was an interventionist into a core section because you have to prioritize the core instruction. So with all of the adjustments is why you don't see that many needs for, we were short 3 SPED teachers. So now with all of the moves, we were able to minimize it to just the TAT SPED teacher, which is the federal state requirement. So we have to prioritize federal and state legislation, especially when we're under ISBE review. And then another complaint was made in terms of like, where are the staff?
So ISBE is monitoring the school right now?
Yeah, last year we had to produce action plans each quarter. And so that's why I have to, part of the requirements to make sure that the staff attend, not training with me. They have to prioritize their training with it's no longer called ODLSS, it's called Office of Students with Disabilities, so OSD. So making sure they're attending the OSD trainings. Because of the ISBE, so that means that OSD does come out. They were here this week to do classroom visits to see what's going on with co-teaching models, the instructional setting. I'm going to get a report from that walk. And then based on that, I'll have to take whatever feedback they give me and what are my next steps as a school leader based on their evidence of what they saw in the classrooms. So they're going to be making frequent visits to see what's going on in terms of like the teaching and the learning, because I was able to produce already, well, here's how I've been able to mitigate some of the challenges with staffing. So now it's the instructional piece. And so they'll come out unannounced and they do their visits. And then I continue to send everyone to PD. And I have to produce that we're having all of this training and learning, and that is translating into teaching and learning.
Is be aware that there's like this mysterious person that's writing these letters, and are they connecting the dot or they're just going through the investigation? Yeah,
they fulfill like, here's the complaint. Can you explain to me?
You must follow what they tell you to do.
Mm-hmm. I have to produce an action, like how am I making the necessary corrective action steps to make sure that our students' minutes are being met. PD is very important, but it has to come from OSD. It can't be just like the case managers doing PD. That supports it, but making sure that they're going to OSD trainings whenever they have availability, because if they do get full, because it's the entire district. Yeah.
Thanks for explaining that. I had no clue.
So that's where we're at with vacancies. But November 3rd, prosecutors will have candidates, and then we'll start again the interview process. But understand that no matter who I staff, if they're within CPS, they won't start till January 12th. If they're non-CPS, then they can start within like a month, depending if they're within, if they're if they never applied to CPS, it takes anywhere 30 days to do the staffing process.